companies are always anxious to get real data, and that's always very timely. The data is naturally going to support those real conversations and not assumptions on what you should be doing with your program, right? And it really drives that measurable impact on what are my peers doing, how is my program relevant, and being able to answer those tough executive questions. Everyone right now, they're struggling with advancing their program and keeping ahead of what true resilience means. And inevitably that can be different between different organizations, but the bottom line is the executives want to feel secure that their program is positioned well and they're doing everything they can be doing, but the driving point behind that is data and not making those assumptions. So you're coming to your executives with real data. So our topic is really going to be, myself, Cheyenne, and Dugan, we're going to be covering those very important topics in this session.
I'd add that I think there's a lot to be said for the language that executives speak, and that value conversation that they speak is not always about dollar signs. It's not always about operational income or the bottom line. So if we have a set of data that can help inform downstream information, business context, and we can turn that into insights, we can use that to remind our executives as to why a top-down understanding of resilience can be important or is important, but also why we need certain levels of support and understanding for the bottoms-up levels of support and operations. Your traditional business continuity, your IT disaster recovery, your third-party resilience right now, which is a big conversation in the marketplace, and obviously the cyber threat landscape, we need to be able to articulate what that means downstream. And if we can do that with these data sets, it's pretty powerful. You know, when I've spoken to audiences, and I always think about what do I want them leaving sort of feeling or considering, I want them to feel more prepared, more confident, more competent even with regards to how they take the lessons from these seminars and these symposiums and how they apply that and map it to their organization, their culture, their executive mindsets. And if we can help them with a couple of nuggets of information, maybe some reminders on approach of what to grab, what to think about, how to carve it into, again, the value language that their executives might be thinking about, and paying attention to, again, the drivers within their specific situations and organizations, I think that's a win.
Yeah, and I'd also like to add to that I think a lot of people don't understand that there's data out there available to help benchmark their program to their peers and better understand where they are with their program. To your point, like you said, Dugan, some of the big gaps that are there from a cyber perspective, from third-party resiliency as well. So understanding where those gaps are, but having the data to kind of drive those conversations at the executive level so they can communicate and get that credibility on what they want to do with their program to advance it. In some cases, it's a matter of not knowing and making those assumptions, right? So giving them, making sure that the community as a whole knows that the opportunity is there. And this is how other companies have been using some of those benchmarks or the data to drive those conversations.